Before he was a legend, before the stadiums, before the trophies, before the millions of fans shouting his name, Cristiano Ronaldo was just a little boy on a small island who had almost nothing. No fancy shoes, no perfect football field, no rich family, just a ball, a dream, and a heart that refused to give up. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born on February 5, 1985, on an island called Madeira in Portugal. It sounds beautiful, and it is, but his life was not easy. His family was poor. They lived in a tiny house with no luxury. Sometimes there was not even enough food for everyone. His mother, Maria Dolores, often went hungry so her children could eat. Imagine a mom looking at her kids and thinking, "I'll eat later." And then later never comes. That's love, and that's sacrifice. His father, José Diniz, worked as a gardener and also as a kit man at a local football club. He was a kind man, but he struggled with alcoholism. This problem hurt the whole family. Ronaldo loved his father, but as a child, he watched how alcohol slowly damaged him and caused pain to his mother. When Ronaldo was just 20 years old, his father passed away. It was one of the most heartbreaking moments of his life. But instead of breaking Ronaldo, it pushed him to go even harder. He wanted to make his father proud, even if his father wasn't there to see it. From a very young age, one thing about Ronaldo was crystal clear. He was obsessed with football. Not just, "I like football." No, more like, "Football is my entire personality." He played barefoot in the streets, using anything as a ball, a bottle, a rolled-up sock, whatever he could find. His friends sometimes teased him for being too intense, too serious about the game. But Ronaldo didn't care. While other kids played for fun, he played with purpose. He already had a dream: to become the best footballer in the world. At 8 years old, he joined a local team called Andorinha, where his father helped with the equipment. Even then, people could see he was different. He was faster, more focused, more hungry than the other kids. By the time he was 10, he was already a local star. Coaches noticed him. Fans in the neighborhood knew his name. But with that passion came something else: emotion. They called him a crybaby because he cried when his team lost or when he didn't get the ball. But that crybaby wasn't weak. He just cared more than anyone else on the field. This is where Ronaldo's story really begins. In a small house, in a struggling family, in the streets of Madeira. No privilege, no shortcuts. Just a boy, a ball, and a fire inside him that refused to go out. Dreams always look beautiful from far away. But when you start chasing them, you realize the road is not smooth. It's full of fear, sacrifice, pain, and moments where you want to give up. Cristiano Ronaldo's story is exactly like that. Behind the fame, behind the goals, there was a boy who had to leave everything he loved and almost lost everything because of his own heart. At the age of 12, Ronaldo made one of the hardest decisions of his life. He left his home in Madeira, his family, his friends, his island, and moved to Lisbon to join Sporting CP's academy. Imagine being only 12 and leaving your mom behind, knowing you won't see her for months. No warm hugs, no home-cooked meals, no familiar streets. Just a new city, a new club, and a lot of pressure. For many kids, 12 is the age of school, games, and cartoons. For Ronaldo, it was the age of sacrifice. In Lisbon, life was not like a dream. It was a test. He lived in a dorm with other boys. They laughed, joked, trained, and sometimes bullied each other. Ronaldo had a strong Madeira accent and a very skinny body. The other kids teased him, called him names, and made fun of where he came from. They thought he was too ambitious, too emotional, and too different. At night, when the lights went off, Ronaldo often cried quietly. He missed his mother, Maria Dolores, more than anything. He missed his siblings. He missed his island. He felt alone in a big city full of strangers. But every time he wanted to give up, he remembered what his mother told him before he left. "Cristiano, you are our hope. "You must be strong." Those words became his fuel. Instead of letting the bullying break him, Ronaldo made a decision. If they laughed at him, he would make them watch him succeed. While others rested, he trained. While others slept in, he woke up earlier. While others wasted time, he sharpened his skills. Day after day, he stayed after practice to shoot, dribble, run, and repeat the same move again and again until it felt perfect. Slowly, his dedication started to shine through the noise. Coaches began to notice that this skinny kid had something special: speed, control, and a fire in his eyes that never went out. But just when things were starting to move forward, life hit him with a problem that could have ended everything. At age 15, during a routine medical checkup, the doctors discovered something terrifying. Ronaldo had a racing heart. Sometimes, his heart beat too fast, even when he was resting. This condition was dangerous. It was not just a small issue. It was serious enough to end his football career before it even truly began. The doctors gave him two options: stop playing football forever, have surgery on his heart. Imagine being 15 and hearing that. Your dream, your escape from poverty, your whole future suddenly standing on a thin line. One wrong move and it's over. For Ronaldo, the choice was painful, but clear. Football wasn't just a sport to him. It was his life, his identity, his way out. So he chose the surgery. The procedure was risky. The doctors used a laser to fix the part of his heart that was causing the problem. His mother waited outside the operating room, scared, praying, hoping her son would be okay. For a parent, nothing is more terrifying than seeing your child in danger. The surgery felt like a test from life. How badly do you really want this dream? The answer came a few days later. Most people would rest for a long time after heart surgery. But Cristiano Ronaldo is not most people. Just a few days later, he was back on the training field. Not slowly jogging, not just stretching. Training, pushing, fighting for his dream again. This moment showed the world who he really was. Not just a talented boy, not just a good player, but a warrior. He didn't use his heart problem as an excuse. He didn't say, life is unfair. He didn't say, maybe football is not for me. Instead, he thought, I got a second chance. I will not waste it. From that point on, his mindset became even stronger. Every run, every shot, every practice session was done with a different level of intensity. He knew what it felt like to almost lose everything, and that made him train like a man who had nothing to lose and everything to prove. The loneliness at the academy, the teasing, the missing family, the heart surgery, all of this could have broken him. But it didn't. It shaped him. When you look at Ronaldo today, you see a superstar. But behind that superstar is a kid who cried himself to sleep in a dorm far from home. A boy who went into surgery not knowing if he would ever play again. A teenager who decided that no matter how hard it got, he would not quit. His story at this stage teaches us something powerful. Sometimes, life takes you away from everything comfortable so you can grow. Sometimes your biggest pain becomes the reason for your strongest version. Sometimes the world pushes you to the edge just to see if you'll step back or fly. Cristiano didn't step back. He flew. And this is only the beginning of his rise. When Cristiano Ronaldo returned to the pitch after his heart surgery, something had changed. Not on the outside, he was still the skinny kid with lightning speed and messy hair, but inside, there was a new kind of fire. A fire that whispered, "You survived. Now go become unstoppable." And he did. At 15, Ronaldo was training like a grown professional. While other boys his age played video games or hung out after school, Cristiano was chasing greatness. He stayed on the field long after his teammates left, practicing the same move again and again until it felt like second nature. If his left foot felt weak, he trained it. If his heading wasn't good enough, he jumped until his legs screamed. If he made a mistake, he didn't get embarrassed. He repeated the drill until he nailed it. He wasn't just talented, he was obsessed, and that obsession was about to change his life. At 16, He began training with Sporting CP's first-team grown men, full professionals, players who were bigger, stronger, older, and more experienced. But even in that environment, Ronaldo didn't blend in. He exploded. His coaches couldn't believe his speed, his footwork, his control, his hunger. He didn't just want to play well. He wanted to dominate every session. And then came the match that changed everything. In 2003, Sporting CP played a friendly against Manchester United. United was one of the biggest clubs in the world, led by one of the greatest managers in football history, Sir Alex Ferguson. No pressure, right? But Cristiano didn't freeze. He didn't panic. He didn't play safe. He unleashed everything he had. United's defenders were destroyed. He outran them, outplayed them, outdribbled them. His speed was ridiculous. His footwork felt like magic. Even the United players looked at each other like, "Bro, who is this kid?" After the match, the United players literally begged Sir Alex to sign Ronaldo. Even they knew they had just seen something special. Sir Alex agreed. He went to the sporting directors and said, "We need to sign that boy. He's a future star." Within weeks, 8-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo became a Manchester United player, the first Portuguese player in the club's history. But moving to England wasn't easy. Ronaldo didn't speak English well. The weather was cold and depressing. The training was tougher. The league was more physical. British defenders didn't care how fast or flashy he was. They kicked him, shoved him, and tried to intimidate him. Many people doubted him. They called him too skinny, too flashy, too many tricks. But Ronaldo didn't let criticism break him. He used it as fuel. He stayed after training to practice free kicks. He studied videos of football legends, analyzing their movements and strategies. He hit the gym to build muscle. He ate clean, avoided junk food, and trained with a discipline that left teammates speechless. Some players partied after matches. Ronaldo went to work. Some players joked around. Ronaldo studied. Some players were satisfied. Ronaldo was hungry, and it paid off. By his second season, Ronaldo became a crucial player for United. Fans loved his fearless style. His dribbling was wild, fast, unpredictable, like someone playing football at 2x speed. His confidence was growing. He wanted the ball. He wanted responsibility. He wanted to be the best. In 2007, Cristiano led Manchester United to the Premier League title. He scored crucial goals, created assists, and turned into one of the most dangerous players in the world. But he wasn't done. In 2008, Ronaldo reached a level that made the world stop and watch. He scored 42 goals, a ridiculous number for a winger. He helped United win the Premier League again and the UEFA Champions League, the most prestigious club trophy in Europe. That same year, Cristiano Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or, officially becoming the best footballer on the planet at just 23 years old. But here's what made Ronaldo different. He didn't celebrate like, "I made it." He celebrated like, "I'm just getting started." In 2009, he made a historic move to Real Madrid for €94 million, the highest transfer fee in football at that time. The pressure was enormous. The expectations were impossible. But Ronaldo thrived under pressure. In his first season at Real Madrid, he scored 33 goals. In his second season, he scored 40, breaking the record for the most goals in a single La Liga season. He wasn't just good. He was terrifying. Defenders panicked when he ran at them. Goalkeepers froze. Fans screamed. Commentators lost their voices. During his years in Madrid, Cristiano turned into a global icon. He perfected his free kicks. He mastered heading. He became a physical machine. Fast, strong, explosive. He studied every detail of the game. He pushed teammates to train harder, play harder, believe harder. And then came his greatest era, winning the UEFA Champions League with Real Madrid. Not once, not twice, not even 3 times, but 4 times. He became the all-time top scorer of the Champions League, with over 130 goals, a record that still stands today. He won multiple Ballon d'Ors. He shattered records. He created moments that will live forever in football history. His rivalry with Lionel Messi pushed him even further. Every goal Messi scored raised the bar, and every goal Ronaldo scored raised it again. It wasn't hate, it was motivation. Ronaldo didn't want to be better than others. He wanted to be better than yesterday's version of himself. By the time he left Real Madrid, Ronaldo wasn't just a superstar. He was a legend, a symbol, a blueprint for greatness. And he did it all through discipline, consistency, sacrifice, and a work ethic that felt almost superhuman. From the streets of Madeira to the brightest stadiums in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo didn't just rise. He soared. When most footballers reach their early 30 seconds, their careers start slowing down. The legs get tired. The speed drops. The body doesn't recover as quickly. Coaches start saying things like, "He was great back in his prime. But Cristiano Ronaldo? Nah, he didn't just break that rule, he absolutely destroyed it." At 33 years old, when the world expected him to fade, Ronaldo shocked everyone by making a bold move to Juventus, one of the toughest clubs in Italy's Serie A. Most players avoid moving leagues at that age because different leagues mean new challenges, new styles, new defenders waiting to crush you. But Ronaldo wasn't scared. He wanted a challenge. He wanted to prove that age is just a number and that greatness has no expiration date. From his very first match in Italy, the pressure was insane. Millions watched. Reporters waited to criticize him. Rivals were ready. Fans were excited but nervous. But Cristiano? He stepped onto the field with the same confidence he had at 20 years old, maybe even more. In his first season, he scored 28 goals and helped Juventus win the Serie A title. People said, okay, maybe he's not going to slow down at all. Then came the Champions League quarterfinal. Juventus had lost the first match to Atletico Madrid, 2-0. Everyone thought they were done, eliminated, finished. But Ronaldo walked into the second leg with fire in his eyes, that scary, main character energy. He scored a hat-trick, single-handedly dragging Juventus into the next round. After the match, he said one of the coldest, most iconic lines in football history. "This is why Juventus brought me here, to make the impossible possible." That wasn't confidence. That wasn't arrogance. That was facts. At 34 years old, Cristiano wasn't declining, he was evolving. His mindset was different. His discipline was unreal. Young Juventus players once said, "We've never seen anyone work like Cristiano. He trains like he's still to go. He's a machine." And honestly, they were right. While other players his age were thinking about retirement, Ronaldo was still hitting the gym twice a day, still doing sprint training, still eating clean, still watching match footage late at night, still studying defenders, analyzing weaknesses, and working on the tiniest details of his technique. He once said, "Your body is your temple. If you take care of it, it will take care of you." That's why even scientists were shocked at how he maintained his speed, strength, and explosive power. In one match, he jumped so high for a header that experts later confirmed his jump height was higher than the average NBA player. At 35 years old, he was literally flying. In that same period, he became the first player in history to score 50 goals in the Premier League, La Liga, and Serie A, a record that proves he didn't just adapt to different leagues. He dominated all of them. But off the field, Ronaldo was not the fierce, intense warrior people saw during matches. At home, he was gentle, playful, warm, a completely different person. His partner, Georgina Rodriguez, became a rock in his life. She supported him through successes, challenges, heartbreak, and pressure from the world. Ronaldo often said, "Georgina takes care of our family and gives me the peace I need to focus on football." As a father, he was deeply devoted to his children. His mornings often began with family breakfast and laughter. He loved teaching his son, Cristiano Jr., not just football skills, but values hard work, discipline, and kindness. He told his son, "Success doesn't come from sitting around. You have to earn it." And he lived that lesson every day. But life wasn't always perfect. In 2022, Ronaldo and Georgina experienced one of the most painful tragedies any parent can face. One of their newborn twins passed away during childbirth. The heartbreak was unimaginable. Cristiano later said, "It was the hardest moment of my life, but I had to stay strong for my family." He returned to football shortly after, dedicating his performances to his son. This moment revealed the depth of his strength. Not just physical strength, but emotional strength, the kind that can only come from surviving deep pain. Despite everything, Ronaldo remained a global symbol of hope. His story wasn't just about trophies and goals, it was about resilience, discipline, rising after every fall, pushing through every challenge. During the pandemic in 2020, while players around the world struggled with fitness, Ronaldo trained harder than ever. He posted videos encouraging people to stay active and positive. When football returned, he came back stronger again. At 36, he became the top scorer of Serie A. At 37, he returned to Manchester United and scored twice on his debut. At an age when most players retire, he was still breaking records. People always asked him, "How do you do it?" His answer was simple: hard work, discipline, and the will to be the best. Cristiano Ronaldo's 30-plus era wasn't just about football. It was about showing the world what is possible when you refuse to let age define you. He proved that passion doesn't fade, discipline doesn't get old, greatness doesn't retire. When you look at Cristiano Ronaldo today, the trophies, the fame, the stadiums full of people screaming his name, it's easy to think, wow, he was born to be great. But the truth is so much deeper. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't become a legend because he was lucky. He didn't succeed because life was easy. He didn't rise because someone opened the door for him. He became one of the greatest athletes in history because he chose to join the 4%, the small group of people who dare to dream big, work harder than everyone else, and refuse to quit no matter what life throws at them. Let's break it down. Throughout his life, Ronaldo faced things that could destroy a person: poverty, loneliness, bullying, his father's addiction, his father's death, a heart condition that could have ended his career before it even began, worldwide criticism, pressure from the media, unimaginable personal tragedy. Most people facing even one of these things would give up, would say, "Maybe this dream isn't for me," would say, "Life is unfair," would accept a smaller life. But Ronaldo refused. He didn't let his poor background define him. He didn't let his father's struggles block his future. He didn't let his heart condition steal his dream. He didn't let critics live rent-free in his mind. He didn't let tragedy break him. Instead, he used every struggle as fuel. Your struggles are your strength. That's what his story screams. Because here's the truth Ronaldo wants the world to understand. Most people never reach their dreams because they choose comfort instead of discipline. They choose excuses instead of effort. They choose fear instead of action. At the end of the day, he believes 96% of people settle. Only 4% create their destiny. The question is simple. Which one do you want to be? Ronaldo chose the 4%. The ones who wake up early. The ones who practice when no one is watching. The ones who keep going even when they feel tired, broken, disappointed. The ones who don't blame life, but build life. His story teaches us something powerful. Greatness is not a gift, it's a choice. And he made that choice every single day. Even when he was already the best in the world, Ronaldo never allowed himself to relax. Most people, after winning a Ballon d'Or, would celebrate forever. But Cristiano, he wanted more. He wanted to improve. He wanted to grow. Staying at the top required the same discipline as climbing to the top, maybe even more. That's why his teammates called him a machine. That's why coaches said his work ethic was unlike anything the world has ever seen. That's why young players follow him around like he's a walking inspiration playlist. But Ronaldo didn't just inspire on the field. Off the field, his impact was massive. He donated millions to children's hospitals. He supported education programs. He helped after natural disasters. He refused to tattoo his body because he wanted to donate blood regularly. He believed, if you are blessed, you must bless others. That's the mark of true greatness. But life also tested him in the most painful way, losing one of his newborn twins in 2022. That kind of heartbreak is beyond words. Ronaldo said, "It was the hardest moment of my life, but I had to stay strong for my family." And he did. He went back to the field. He played. He scored. He dedicated every performance to his son. That moment proved something deeper than talent. It showed his heart, his humanity, his resilience. Cristiano's life teaches us that setbacks are not the end. They're part of the journey. He missed penalties, lost matches, was booed by fans, criticized by the media, dropped by coaches, doubted by millions. But every single time, he rose back up. He once said, "I don't compare myself to others. I compare myself to the person I was yesterday." That is the mindset of someone who creates his destiny. And that's exactly what he wants the world to learn. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop listening to the doubts of others. Stop letting fear hold your dreams hostage. Choose to be part of the 4%. Choose to take action. Choose to put in the work. Choose to show up, even when it hurts. Choose to believe that you are capable of something great. Because Ronaldo wasn't born a legend. He built himself into one. From the streets of Madeira, to Manchester, to Madrid, to Juventus, to the world stage, Cristiano Ronaldo is a reminder that your background does not decide your future. Your circumstances don't limit your destiny. Your pain does not define your potential. Only you do. He leaves us with one final message. Only you have the power to change your life. The question is, are you ready to work for it?